Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a deck walkthrough as well as a reading. So if you guys are not interested in seeing this Good Tarot by baron-reid, with me walking through each of the cards so you guys can see this deck in its entirety, just go ahead and go to the timestamp in the description box below, which will take you straight to the general reading. What is the point of doing a deck walkthrough? Sometimes you might be interested in a particular tarot or oracle deck and you go to Google it and you're just not really finding all the different images or all the cards. And so it's a great way to take a look at a deck in its entirety by going into YouTube and seeing, these deck walkthroughs. So that's the reason I'm creating this video. So baron-reid, I believe this is the only tarot deck that she's created, but she creates a lot of oracle decks. So I really love her work. So anyways, this is the box that it comes in right here, and it does have an instruction booklet. So I was just taking a look here, before I got started with this deck walkthrough. I was just trying to see if there was any kind of samples in regards to how to use the cards. And I didn't really see any. I just kind of saw, I guess there's like a sample reading in here, but as far as like spreads, I didn't really see any. So if you guys, were looking for any kind of different tarot spreads and how to use these cards, it doesn't look like there's any, but it's kind of cool because one thing that she did do is she broke down the numbers, and I thought that that was kind of cool. So she goes into the history of tarot, and she also goes into the actual numbers. So I'm just going to show you guys an example of this. Well, she goes into the pages and the kings and the queens and what all those cards mean, but she says the numbers of the good tarot. So that's always kind of helpful when you're reading tarot for the first time, just to kind of learn what the different numbers represent and things like that. But anyways, all the different cards, she goes into a nice little description of them. So they're really, just a lot easier to use. And I kind of like this deck too, because rather than traditional tarot where you have the wands, the cups, the swords, and the pentacles, she actually goes into, and I'll show you guys, but she goes into the elements, so it does make it user-friendly. Now, some of the major cards, which there are 22, she has changed the names, so if you guys are not familiar with tarot, that might be easier or confusing for you. And there's also something that she did with the court cards too, which might be a little confusing, but again, if you have the booklet, then you're going to know how to use the deck. So anyways, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm just going to put this over here, and I've already made this deck, I already put it in order so you guys could just see it. So this is the Fool card here. These are really beautiful. So they're shiny, okay? They're definitely got a gloss to them, but they're really good cardstock. It's a real good cardstock. Makes it a little difficult to shuffle real quick, because they're not thin, but they're really sturdy. And I've had these for a while and they haven't chipped, which is really cool. I have other decks that are kind of like this that are already chipping. So, and what I mean by chipping is like you can see the white on the edges and that sort of thing. So anyways, that's the Fool here. We have the Magician, High Priestess. It's beautiful images. Empress, very earthy. Emperor with that lion. Hierophant. This right here is the Lovers, which is really, really cool. It kind of reminds me of a Strength card, with somebody with a lion. Chariot. See the Strength card here with another lion. So a lot of lions in this deck I'm seeing here. Hermit. So this one, instead of saying the Wheel of Fortune, it says the Fortune's Wheel. Justice. Hanged Man. So instead of saying death, it says transformation. And instead of saying temperance, it says patience. Instead of saying the devil, it says temptation. We have Tower. Star. Moon. Sun. And instead of saying judgment, it says call. And the World. So that's the major arcana. This right here, we're going to start with the Fire, which is Wands energy. So we have the Ace of Fire. 2, So with the court cards, this can be a little confusing for some people. It does say page, right? But sometimes readers will say pages are messages, which they are, okay? But for me, a page is more of the, kind of like the concept of something. It's the creation in your mind. So it's, to me, it's like very much the thoughts. But in this particular deck, instead of saying a knight, she's called the knight's messengers. So that can be a little confusing for people that see pages as messengers. I've used this deck before and I've gotten confused, like, oh crap, is that the page or is it the knight? So the messengers in this deck are knights, but the page is like that concept of an idea. The knight is the action of taking whatever this energy is or concept is and actually delivering that, you know, message. So that's a good way you can look at it. Okay, so that was the fire suit. Now we have the water, which is cups. I really love this because of the sea creatures. Seahorses and octopus are definitely my favorite sea animals. Got mermaids, love it. Kind of reminds me of like King Triton in The Little Mermaid. All right, you guys, that was the water suit. This is now swords air. So we've got like, I think it's like a Pegasus. It's pretty cool. It was very mystical deck. Angels. Cool queen with that owl and a king. All right, last suit, you guys. Earth, which would be pentacles. Really like the animals that she used in this deck too. All right, you guys, that's the deck. So it's a beautiful deck, obviously, as you can see. You know, a lot of just different things in there. So I'm going to give this deck a real good shuffle, and we're going to go ahead and do like a sample reading, okay? So if you guys have a particular question, what I want you to do is just go ahead and apply that to the reading. Meaning like just, you know, and try not to do like yes or no's exact, like, you know, when this is going to happen, if it's going to happen. And of course, you know, things are just usually up in the air. Everybody has free will. Things are constantly shifting and changing. But if you want to pick a particular theme, such as love, career, finances, life purpose, things like that, we'll go ahead and see what comes through. So we're going to do what I call, it's my version of the Celtic cross. It's just a 6-position spread, and I'm going to draw 2 cards per position. Okay. So when it comes to whatever kind of theme you guys are focused on. Let's go ahead and pick, and it could be different for everybody, so I'm going to give you guys a variety. We've got the Magician, fantastic. And we have the Chariot's energy. Okay, so right off the bat, the astrological signs that I have are Virgo, Gemini, and Cancer. So that could be specific for whoever's watching the video. But this is a really beautiful combination here, because this just means like this. This is the opening message for the reading. This is like your current energy. So whatever ideas that you have, like you are ready to take it into motion, into action. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to carry forward with some sort of idea that you have. Whatever you're trying to manifest, it's like it's starting to come about. So whether that's career or love or life's purpose, what I'm getting here is people are on the correct path. They are on the right track at this particular time. So let's go ahead now and move into any kind of blockages, anything that is hindering this progress at this time. We have the Page of Cups and the Six of Air. So it's interesting to me because there are a couple of cards in tarot that are about forward movement, and Chariot is one, and now the Six of Air is another to me. The Page of Cups can be a water sign individual, but for me it's specifically Pisces because of the fish. So it could be that, you're being blocked right now by a Pisces. It could be that this is about a Pisces, perhaps, and you're wanting to move forward at this particular time. There might be some distance between you and this individual. It might be that there's something that's still unformed. It's kind of like in its infancy stage. It's not the Knight of Water or the Queen or the King. It is the Page. And so the Page is, remember, that concept, that idea, but we're really not bringing that forth per se. We're just really thinking about it. But the Six of Air, of course, is about moving forward towards calmer waters. Sometimes the Page of Cups can be represent an apology, a small offer, and when we have the Six of Air, which represents kind of that going away from troubled waters, it could be that an apology or a small gesture is exactly what is needed in order to move forward. So the thing is, we already see you coming into this reading with this forward momentum, this movement forward in a positive way. Your ideas and what you're wanting to manifest is moving forward. So if there's something that's standing in the way in regards to you're waiting for something, you're waiting for an offer, you're waiting for somebody to offer an apology before you can move forward, what Spirit's saying is move forward anyways. This is unnecessary, meaning like you don't have to wait for whatever this is. This situation doesn't have to be dealt with in order for you to move forward. You can move forward anyways. That's what I'm getting here. So if you guys are allowing someone or some kind of offer that's kind of standing in the way of your progress, it's about no longer waiting for whatever that is and moving forward anyways. Okay? That is what I am getting here. Don't let anything stand in your path at this time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the past energy, the foundation, just anything from the past that might still be affecting the present. We have the Messenger of Air. So remember, the messengers are knights. So Knight of Swords is specifically Gemini. We already did get Gemini here, and we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so it could be that in your past you've been dealing with the Gemini and you have really just manifested moving forward in a positive way past this whatever issue you had, because the Seven of Cups is confusion. Maybe some of you have been confused about love. Maybe some of you have been confused about your choices. Maybe some of you have been confused because either there's been like misunderstandings with communications, because this does say Messenger of Air. Air is our thoughts. Air is about communication. So maybe in the past, again, like something isn't happening. Seven of Cups can also be an indication of procrastination, as in procrastination with moving forward. That's really what the Knight of Swords is. The Knight of Swords is a very action-oriented card. And so it could just be that we've been wishy-washy, or we've been allowing the inaction or even the actions of other people kind of dictate what we're doing and what we're not doing. And what I'm seeing is that coming into this reading, it looks to me like you're breaking away from that energy and you're taking back control, and you're manifesting change, and you're manifesting new directions. You're no longer willing to allow the inactions or kind of like the confusion or procrastination or maybe even fantasy thinking because the Seven of Cups can represent fantasy, we're no longer allowing those types of thoughts to hold us back on our path any longer. We're dropping just any kind of energy that isn't solid. That is what I'm seeing here. So we're breaking away from things that don't really have a lot of substance. We're breaking free from things that are holding us back, whether it's fantasy thinking or procrastination, kind of being wishy-washy, whether that's us or someone else. We're breaking away from whatever that is. We're moving forward towards calmer waters. We're moving forward with more success. And it does take determination with that Chariot's energy, but you've got it, is what Spirit is saying with the Magician's card. You have what it takes in order to move past whatever this is that may be holding you back. So to me, this is about clearing old patterns and no longer letting anything hold you back. That's what I'm seeing. So let's go ahead now and take a look at your environment. So these are people that are maybe in your environment, outside circumstances that are affecting you in the present. We have the Hierophant's energy and we have the King of Air. So we have Aquarius with the King of Air, and we also have the Taurus with the Hierophant's energy. Okay, so this could be a person that is in charge. This could be you. Actually, no, it's not you, because this is your environment. So this is somebody that's outside of you, somebody that's affecting your situation. This, for some of you, could be a person that you're in a committed relationship with. Okay, it could be a husband. It could represent a female, though, too, just a very masculine, in-charge female. But the Hierophant is about commitment. The Hierophant is also about structure and discipline, and the King of Air is very, very disciplined. The King of Air is extremely logical and rational. This is kind of like a lawyer type of a person that can really just, you know, take charge of a situation and make things happen. There's not a lot of emotion when dealing with the King of Air, but the King of Air gets things done, and that's what it is. It's kind of like a kick-ass and take names kind of energy. So it could be that right now you're learning from this King of Air on what you want for your own self and what you want for your own life. You need to be more of that King of Air. And so it's kind of like you're looking at someone else as a way to be like, I want that energy or that strength, or you're wanting this commitment with this person. You're wanting this person maybe perhaps to be that person that's not so hardcore, somebody who's going to wear their heart on their sleeve, somebody that's going to want to commit, let their guard down. But that might not be what you're dealing with. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who's still very hard, still very protecting themselves, not coming at you emotionally. That's if you guys are dealing with a love situation. It could just be that somebody right now, they're looking at commitment as in it's very, it has to make sense. Okay. It has to make sense. It's very like, some of you might be dealing with someone where they're in a commitment, like you're not with them, you're not in the commitment with them, but they're with someone else. And they're very much taking a practical approach with this commitment. So to me, this is about conventional situations, meaning like there's not a lot of heartfelt energy there. They're with somebody because of money, because of children, because of assets, because of tradition. So there's not really a lot that this person is willing to do at this point to break free from whatever this is. So again, if you guys are waiting on somebody, I'm getting here, you're no longer going to allow that to rule your life. If this is not about a love situation, or even if it is and you're not dealing with somebody who's in that kind of energy, I'm just getting that somebody at this point is kind of putting up their sword or their shield against this commitment at this time. So it's very difficult to move forward with this person. If this is just about you and finances, this could be a boss. This could be a very hardcore boss. Doesn't have to be cruel. I'm not getting that energy where they're cruel or they're messing with you. I'm getting more of it's like an all business kind of an energy. It's just like all work, no play, getting serious, really building up your life, really just doing things and learning from this person what you can. It could be a very excellent teacher, somebody who is really going to add value to your life is what I'm seeing here, because I see the Hierophant as value, you know, a lot of values, a lot of integrity. The King of Swords has a lot of integrity as well, as in they're very, very truthful and very honest, and sometimes can be overly honest to where it seems to be cutting and cold and it hurts. But this is good, because if somebody is telling you, I don't want this, or I'm not ready, listen, because this right here is the truth right now. So sometimes we have the, what's the word I'm looking for? The, I can't think of the word I want to use, but sometimes we have the tendency to want to take what someone is saying and like build our own narrative around that. Like, well, this is what they're telling me, but this is what I think they mean. Or making excuses kind of thing. Like, it's really hard. The truth hurts sometimes. And I'm getting here that you're dealing with somebody who's giving you harsh truths about something. And so if you're wanting to kind of put an emotional spin on it, or you're wanting to put your own spin on it because it's difficult to deal with this reality, at this point, that might be holding you back and disempowering you. So I'm just getting here that this is serious energy, and it's something that you have to listen to and consider, because it might just be something that you need to just kind of respect and or cut yourself away from if it seems to be too difficult to deal with. That's what I'm seeing here. And if this means that you are being drawn to deal with situations that feel a little like, maybe I shouldn't. This is definitely the energy saying, don't do it. Act with integrity. Be the king of air with the Hierophant's energy. Act with that integrity and respect boundaries, and don't get yourself involved in anything that you know you shouldn't get yourself involved in when it comes to other people. So that's also a message that's coming through at the very last minute. So I hope that that's making sense to some of you out there, and if it's not resonating, no big deal. So let's go ahead and take a look and see, what does Spirit want us to focus on? What does Spirit want us to really, really focus on at this time? We have the Six of Cups, and we have the King of Earth. Interesting. Okay, so what does Spirit really want us to focus on? I feel like for some of you, this is a special message, that it might be that a father figure, okay, or some kind of like a masculine presence in your life that was a part of your upbringing. So that's why I'm getting here a father. There's something to think about. There's something to consider here. So if you find yourself perhaps kind of losing yourself in another person, or attracting the same type of person over and over again, I'm getting here that there might be some sort of childhood, either a trauma or issues that you do need to consider and heal at this time, because it might be something that's really now showing up in your present life, and it just continues to show up over and over again. And so it's something that does need to be dealt with. It's something that needs to be cleared and healed. Okay. And the reason I'm saying that too is because the Hierophant did show up as well. And this has to do with our upbringing, family, and tradition. When I see the King of Earth can sometimes be to me like a father. Okay. So it's either your father, or this is somebody that perhaps you're wanting to, build that life with. And I am getting the sense here, if it's a love reading, you definitely may want to align yourself with a person that you can have that major commitment with in that life with, somebody who's going to be serious and stable and committed to you. And so why would Spirit want you to focus on that? The thing is, what I'm getting from this reading already is that we're trying to break free from things that no longer serve us, okay? So if holding on to someone from the past where it's not going anywhere, I don't see that as the message. I don't see that Spirit's telling you to focus on this person. I'm getting here that you're supposed to let go of things that are just wishy-washy, procrastinating, Seven of Cups, just kind of being in the clouds. We're supposed to get rid of that energy that's holding us back from, moving forward with our lives. And we're supposed to really focus on why we seem to be in this dreamy energy, or why we seem to be, attracted or putting ourselves out there towards people that aren't really able to provide to us what we're looking for. So there could be an issue with your past. There could be an issue with your upbringing. There could be an issue with the person that raised you. And whatever happened within that dynamic, it could have a lot to do with what you're now looking for in a future partner. And that there could be some sort of a dysfunction around that. So Spirit's saying to make sure that you focus on the reasons why you're hanging on to a particular person. Is that person, and I feel like that's what this harsh truth is. Is this person the person that's really cut out for this? Or is it what you want? is it the wish that you have, like this wishful thinking, or is it in reality? Is the truth that you see, is it built in, you know, realistic terms, or is it just the stories that you're telling yourself? And that's just what I'm getting for this. So we're meant to really focus on our past, but to heal it and to figure out why. Why are we either waiting on people that aren't on the same page as us, or aren't giving us that commitment that we're looking for? Are they even in alignment with our integrity at this point? Is it worth investing any more in? So Spirit's telling you to really figure that out. Figure out this soul connection that you feel. Really focus on why you want this person, or is this really based in, because I'm getting logical and I'm also getting practical. Like, is this a logical and practical situation, or is this based in Seven of Cups, fantasy, you know, fantasy here. So we've got to really pull away, remember, from this dreamy energy, this Page of Cups. This Page of Cups could be somebody who's very immature, very dreamy, just kind of giving crumbs, but they're not really giving any solid energy of the Hierophant or the King of Earth or the King of Swords. Some of them may not even be giving you truths. They're acting like that Page of Cups. So the Six of Air is telling you you've got to move away from these troubled times. Whatever waters you're spending with this Page of Cups, you might need to disconnect from that Page of Cups in order to go towards things that really are much more solid and in alignment with what you're looking for. So it could be breaking a pattern. So if this isn't love, I am just getting here that it still, regardless, is time for you to focus on something from the past, to heal something from the past. It could be that we need to heal maybe some kind of aspects of ourselves where we don't feel good enough, where we don't feel like we're that King of Earth, that we don't feel like we deserve abundance, or that we don't deserve somehow that promotion, or we don't feel good enough. So it's Spirit's way of saying, go back into, why are you feeling this way? Why don't you feel good enough? And really focusing on healing and clearing any kind of poverty thinking, poverty consciousness that you may have that might be holding you back in life. Interesting. All right, you guys. So this right here is possible future energies, upcoming energies. We have the High Priestess, and we also have the Page of Earth. Oh, I did forget to say here with this King of Earth, I didn't say what this was. The King of Earth is a Taurus, okay? And Taurus already did come up with the Hierophant's energy. High Priestess is the Moon's energy. It can be Cancer. It could also be a Pisces. And then the Page of Earth is just Earth energy, okay? But the High Priestess and the Page of Earth combination, when it comes to, you know, possible future energies, what I'm getting here, it's about bringing forth things that we've been holding back. The High Priestess is about hidden things, keeping things to ourselves. The Page of Earth is that concept. It's time to plant this seed. It is time to move forward into the material world. It is time to participate in the material world, okay? So we could have been in a dreamy state where we've just been kind of thinking and fantasizing about the life that we want, but we're not really doing anything with it. We're just thinking about it. Spirit's saying it is time moving forward in the future to actually take these concepts, remember the pages are concepts, and take that pentacle and plant it in the earth so that way it can start to grow. So it's not really a time to hold anything back. It's actually a time for action. It's time to move forward in the world. It's time to start, you know, planting those seeds and watering those seeds and watching them grow. It's not a time to stay stuck in that kind of dreamy feeling or dreamy thinking, which is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is she's connected to her intuition, which is great. But what I'm getting here is that moving forward in the future, there's a lot more practical, logical energy that's being called upon, like you're being called to use more of that aspect of yourself and pull out of Seven of Cups and pull out of High Priestess. You can still be intuitive. You can still rely on your intuition, and you can still be somewhat in a dreamy energy, but I'm getting here, you're not meant to get caught up in this energy. You're meant to really move forward in more of a realistic nature, a more tangible energy, actually seeing and experiencing things in the physical, not just in your mind. Okay, so if some of you have been caught up in an idea, that you haven't been moving forward with, it's time to take action on it. If some of you have been stuck in life and you want to move forward, but you have to make a decision to either go to a different job or, you know, move a location or home, I'm getting this is a green light to move forward with that finally. And I'm getting that if this is about a love connection, it could be that it's time to put to rest things that aren't really going anywhere and try to move forward more towards things that are a part of, you know, the physical world, as in reality at this point. And it's just time to start participating with real energy that's in the real world is what I'm seeing here. So anyways, very general. It could be about anything. You guys can take it however it resonates with you, but I just wanted to do a little sample reading here, showing you guys the cards. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.